Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year to you all. Welcome to Bar City Radio's first broadcast of 2023 as we kick off the year with Chippenham Town versus Bar City live from the Thornbury Surfacing Limited Stadium. I'm Mark Stillman, commentating throughout with Bob Chester on summarising duties. Boxing Day saw the Bluebirds dish out a knockout blow on the Romans, having jabbed at them in patches before Jordan Young's 86th minute finish finally floored City with no time to recover. Instead, Jerry Gill's men dusted themselves down and picked up a point with Worthing 3 days ago, though a late sucker punch denied them all three. Chippenham drew at Braintree the same afternoon, where the iron ended with 10 men, and a win today could take Gary Horgan's side out of the bottom four. They'll be grateful to be back at home. Astonishingly, 9 of their last 10 contests have been away, including the last 7, taking them to 8 different counties, and only in the last week has their travel sickness eased. Bob, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to Mark, Happy New Year to all the listeners in the UK or wherever in the world you might be listening, because I know we've got Bar City fans all over the world. So Happy New Year to you.
I'm sure we'll still be smarting from Chippenham's first win over us in over 5 years last week. Do you think City have the ingredients to exact revenge today?
Well, it's a new game, it's a new ground, it's a new year, and we could have a different result. I think whatever happened in the first result, you just put that to bed and start fresh. It'll be 0-0 at 3 o'clock, and City have a good record here in Wiltshire, and I'm hoping for another good game, and hoping that City can actually make sure that they don't end up having the double done against them. But if it's a win apiece, I think that'll suit City fans quite nicely.
10 National League side meetings, and they produced 41 goals, 6 penalties and 5 red cards. Bar City unbeaten in their last 6 A4 derbies here at the Thornbury Surfacing Limited Stadium, Hardenhurst Park for its original name. Still people filing in, trying to find the spot, and the game gets underway.
And we can't see a thing at the moment because there's loads of people going past.
Yeah, very handy. It's over on the Bar City right-hand side where Ebanks flicks it forward, headed away by Tizard. Ebanks gets another fire, beats Spokes, his own player, in the air. Now Young picks it up, 10 yards past halfway, tried to slip it to the left-hand side, halfway line, where Will Richards cushions it down to the path of Mayhew. The clever reverse ball gets Young away, 25 yards out, running centre, trying to get onto that left foot. He's been forced wide, excellent challenge. And I thought Dyer won the ball.
I think
30 yards out.
Just clipped him.
But free kick to Chippenham. This is in a promising position, slightly left of centre. It's actually not too dissimilar to where Ricky Aguiar scored in this fixture last year. So, just about 4 minutes on the clock. Young shoots. Oh, superb save from Gould. He had to fling himself to his right-hand side. It was definitely creeping inside the corner. It's just excellent goalkeeping. It goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, that was absolutely superb shot and a great save by the City goalkeeper, Josh Gould.
Winds back. Gets more height, really, than distance. Richards gets a flick on towards Young. Parcell just nicks it away from him. Now sits up for Santos near the edge of the penalty area. Freer keeping a close eye on him. Plays it back to Parsons, trying to weave himself into space. The reverse ball in this offside flag is up, and it was saved anyway. And City will restart with a free kick. Bray denied. Morton heads it forward. It's cleared from Richards. Parcell collected by Mayhew. He's got the ball, and he's come through Morton on halfway. Slight miscontrol. He's going to get a booking, actually, is Mayhew. This is in the 8th minute, the first one. He did leave a leg in. So Dyer and Button are up. Goes towards that near player. Very poor delivery, actually. Straight headed it from the front man in Russ. Not the biggest target to get over, but didn't surpass him. Is Freer again on the right-hand side. Surrounded by 3 Chippenham men. He's done very well. Old school ball work, and Hayfield spoons it up into the air, and then Button can only help it into Henry's hand. Presentable, really, for Hayfield. He just completely mishit it.
Not what it was like in December. It was freezing. Probably this game would have been off with a frozen pitch.
Yeah, we didn't have those conditions. There's a great ball over the top now to Ebanks. He just about brings it under control. Ebanks! Oh, he's flushed it just wide. It banks up awkwardly in front of him. There's the ball from Greenslade from the back. Totally caught Chippenham out. A fine effort from Ebanks, but it's off target. Goal kick.
Yeah, wonderful ball from Greenslade.
Parcell intercepted, not taking any chances, and Greenslade has fouled Young, who's snuck in front of him. I think that's going to be another yellow card.
Well, that's the problem when Mayhew was booked, and now suddenly the referee's going to have his notebook out quite a few times, and we could end up with not having 22 players on the pitch.
Gets better distance on this one, and Well, in the end, it's cleared from Button. Now Cox picks it up. He's got 4 Chippenham men around him and no support. So to do well to create an opening. Mayhew tries to come back. Russ tries to come back to tackle him. Mayhew now takes the ball away. There's appeals to handball. The referee points to his head, says nothing wrong with it. As Young swings some space down the right-hand side, running at Greensay. He wants to cut inside. Greensay's trying to get him onto his right foot. It's now back to Young. Young on his left, and it's well blocked from Dyer. It was clever defending, actually, from Greensay. He invited him, go down the right if you want. We know you're stronger cutting inside, and that helped break down that attack as it goes behind for a Chippenham throw.
Now they only conceded something like 17 goals when I looked.
It's a very low tally. As now Parsons, a slip from the varsity defence. Parsons on his left foot, and it's tame. Rolls it, and Gould dives to his left-hand side and gathers. It was an easy save in the end. Morton again, that's better, as Spokes. Very nice on top of the ball, Spokes, and then he runs straight into Mayhew, and again Chippenham look to break going down the slope. Mayhew travelling forward. Parsons has made a run through the middle. Mayhew's going to go alone here, and no, he's run straight into Dyer. Much better from Bar City defensively, as it has been in the opening 26.5 minutes, actually. They stood far firmer. They've been harder to break down than they were in the home game. Here's Morton now. He's got Freer in room on the left-hand side. Faced from Hamilton. Freer teasing the right back. Gets into the near post just behind Cox, and it missed Ebanks as well. He was going to give Gallant chase to keep it in play.
Yeah, Young is back on.
Morton initially looked forward, couldn't see anything, so he had to turn back, which Chippenham will be happy with as Parcell floats on over to the far side. It's a good ball, actually. Hayfield now brings it under his spell. Plays it across, it's saved by the legs of Henry. It's now played back again, but only to Mayhew. It was one, a bit like earlier with Greensay, that one diagonal. It looked like there was a foul off the ball. No, the referee says no, and it's Bar City back in possession with Button. Young to Santos, well read from Freer, doing some defensive work. So they've certainly been better in that respect. They haven't created too many clear openings going forward so far, but hence why we're at 0-0. Played inside to Cox, now Ebanks, that's better movement off the ball from the Romans. Now Hayfield near the byline, drills it across, it is into a good area, but it's just too hard for Freer. Greenstade's going to keep it in play on the left-hand side. Watch from Santos, now back to Freer. Hamilton's across, the captain of Chippenham, and try and stop him getting a ball in. He doesn't know. Freer gets it in, just too high for Cox again. And this time Bray can try and dribble the ball away. 2 excellent deliveries from either side. There just wasn't that poacher waiting in the middle. Cody Cook is here watching. He would have loved to have latched on to either of those. Yeah, Bassett will be going down. Yeah, Young's gone down again. That's a huge concern. And indeed, that's him done. As rightfully points out behind him, Anton Forbes is back on the physio to check in. Joe Hanks, who writ his name into Chippenham history by scoring the winner against Lincoln in the FA Cup with an audacious back heel. He'll have more feistiness, I think, than Young. It's a different type of player, but he can offer something going forward. He's trying to now get him over the attack. He's quite tall as well, Hanks. That's a foul from Spokes on Russ. A little bit more of it than it was. And there's no Hayfield comes wading in. And it's all kicking off. Hanks, who loves the sight of a little melee, was there too. It was a clattering challenge in Spokes. It should be a yellow card. And Russ was almost holding his head when he went down, so when they sort of collided with his hip, Hanks is receiving a talking to, as is Hayfield. Hanks had only been on the field for about a minute, and in fact Hanks has got booked, and so has Hayfield. Well, that's an instant impact from the substitute in one way.
Has Dan Hayfield been booked?
Dan Hayfield was booked in an instant as well, yeah. Yellow card of pieces. Free kick is driven. It's driven woefully wide from Mayhew. I think there's been quite a lack of quality in this half, and that pretty much sums it up. It spins out of play for a Chippenham throw. One last opportunity maybe for them to do so. As Parsons turns away, still going. He's fouled. Well, he's fouled just after the 3 minutes of stoppage time has gone, so one would assume this is the last chance of the half. Who's it going to be? It's Parsons. Bends it into the side netting. That's a final kick of the first half, which hasn't been too eventful, actually, unusually for the A4 derby. Defence has largely been on top. Jordan Young came closest to scoring with a searing free kick, which Josh Gould did well to tip around his post. And then Chippenham were dealt a blow when Young was forced off a few minutes before half-time. Bar City in response. Callum Ebanks flashed an effort just wide. Otherwise, they've contained Chippenham pretty well. It's been tight, it's been well contested, and 0-0 for me. It's pretty much spot on. Parsons tries to take the ball away for Chippenham. He runs straight into Morton. Russ picks it up. Now, Bray on the left-hand side. Looking to get at Hayfield again. Ball bobbles a couple of times, and it stays in play, actually. The assistant kept his flag down over on the far side, and Chippenham keep the move alive. It's now back to Russ near the edge. Russ with a shot, and it goes just over the angle of post and crossbar. It was a very good effort actually from Russ, because it didn't set up too kindly. And Russ has sent it over to Santos on the right hand side. He has to wait for the ball to come down near the corner of the penalty area. He's got Hamilton alongside him. Hamilton's ball in, played against Greenside, against his hip. And turned away from trouble. Now Parsons has made room for a shot. He took an extra touch too many. He should have shot a little bit earlier. And he was thwarted. I think it was Dyer who did nothing away. And that's a rash challenge from Russ on Hayfield. Completely unnecessary, because it was shy of the halfway line. And we know this referee likes to get his card out. But on that occasion, Bob, I don't think he's really got much option.
No, I think he got no option at all, Mark, on that one. And that was definitely a booking.
Doing some backtracking now. He does defend well for his team. It's Teodolo now, the fullback, attacking third on the left-hand side, turning inside of Hayfield, inside the penalty. Still Teodolo shoots too close to Gould, who shovels it behind. Actually, the goalkeeper should have held it, and it's a corner for Chippenham. Santos, who's got a bit of room because Hayfield is coming back with him. Santos runs inside, gets the other side of Hayfield, stops in his tracks. Good footwork. Looking for options. Oh, well read from Batten, who got there in the end. Russ shoots, charged down from Spokes. Still Chippenham on the attacking front. Parsons is fouled from Parcell. I thought he went down a bit easily, my liking, but it's 20 yards out. Free kick, central. Hanks, four-man wall, shoots over. And never really troubled Josh Gould in the Bow City goal. Elliot Frears races run. He's making way. This is in the 68th minute, and on comes Scott Wilson. So free kick to City, which Gould takes left-footed down the left-hand side, looking for Ebanks. Knocks inside to Wilson. Oh, he couldn't turn away from trouble. Now Ebanks with a shot. Oh, he's clawed away in the end from Henry. Maybe he was unsighted. He got two strong hands on it, and it goes out of play for a corner. Just past the 70th minute. Corner comes in. It's not fully cleared. It's run out now. Hayfield shot! It was hit the inside of the post and stayed out. The goalkeeper got two hands on it. It took a deflection, or at least maybe two deflections in there. The luck is in Chippenham's favour. It's a corner.
Yeah, I mean, it came out, and you could see Hayfield thinking, I'm going to smash that, which he did. It took a deflection and ended up on the post.
Thrown into Spokes, slight miscontrol. A clever ball over the top. Hayfield should get there by the byline. Fizzes it across, and it bypasses Henry. There's appeals that there was a touch on the goalkeeper. The referee doesn't think so, and the throw-in goes Chippenham's way to help occupy Parsons. The whipped one into the near post is headed over from Parcell, who made an on-rushing run. That would have been a sweet moment for him. In fact, it came off a Chippenham head last, and it goes behind for another corner. That was a great delivery. Trying to brush away those hangovers. Lots of shirt pulling in the penalty area. It's headed away from Richards, helped into the air, and nodded forward in the end. I think it was from Wilson.
The Alex Fletcher thing that's happened, and that's had an effect on people, and we're so glad that Alex is
Chippenham giving it away. Morton now to Spokes. It's an important slow interception, but it's only to Hayfield. Now trying to do it alone. He's been fouled, I thought, from the edge of the box. Oh, the referee was nearby, and he said no, and Chippenham will look to break now with Hanks, but Batten comes charging forward, wins the ball back. Still got it under his spell. The referee intent on letting the game go on. Chippenham break now with Parsons. He initially looked to spot Gould off his line. I thought he was going to have a go from the halfway line, but he changed his mind, and it comes to nothing. Now Cox. Game is livened up. Slipped in behind now to Wilson. Charged down there from Teodolo, who's gone down injured. Barnsley might want to exploit their space on the right side. Hayfield now. Hayfield is trying to get the ball under control. Hayfield! Oh, it's deflected over, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick. Hayfield couldn't quite get the ball into his path, and Chippenham are grateful that Tizard was there to cover, and it spoons over the goal for a corner, but that was a terrific opening.
It was, and Hayfield, I mean, that's the second time he's been in that situation, but he just couldn't get the ball from under his feet, and when he did eventually shoot, he got deflected and just crept over the bar.
We're in the final 10 minutes, it's 0-0. Spokes, the whip delivery, oh, it misses everybody in the middle. Ebanks was in there.
They've got better and better, as you give them heart for the game against Eastbourne on Saturday.
Hayfield, though, wants to do something about it near the edge of the box. Hayfield shoots just wide, a yard or so wide. I think Henry had it covered, diving to his right. And Hayfield, who's come inside more in this second half, has been City's more attacking threat, is now Tizard. He outfoxes Spokes and can now go forward, 30 yards out central. The centre-back wants to go alone at the moment. He's near the edge of the area, shoots, well charged down from Dyer. And again, he's vacated the space for Bath City to try and exploit. No, they can't. That's one thing that's let them down. Chippenham have had players out of position, and Bath City haven't been thoughtful enough going forward. Greenstone gets in the way, and Bath City win possession back, albeit in their own penalty area. Ebanks went down off the ball there. The referee didn't spot it. Now Hamilton, he's been tripped. And rather petulantly from Ebanks. This is potentially the last chance for Chippenham Town. Two-man wall. Santos chips it towards the back post. Parsons was unmarked and he didn't get full header. He sort of snuck in behind Hayfield. And City are fortunate. They try and break now with Cox. He's cushioned it off to Wilson. Maybe there is one more chance for the Romans. Chippenham have got men back. Wilson, shot is blocked. Oh, he had options to his right-hand side as well. Now Santos. We've just passed the 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the second half. 0-0. Chippenham breaking down the right-hand side with Parker. Bath City are having to run back up the slope and cover it. It's Richards in an unfamiliar role of right midfield. Parker sends in a ball. Goalkeeper Gould comes out and takes it. That's the final action of the game. It's the first time since 1901 that Chippenham Town and Bath City have failed to find a goal between them. And neither team managed to break the deadlock. Jordan Young had the best chance of Chippenham inside the first 5 minutes. Then he was forced off with a few minutes of first half remaining, and that told because Chippenham couldn't create anything really going forward in that second half. Bath City grew into the game as it got on. They could have snatched it late. Hayfield's shot was deflected onto the post by Will Henry. Chippenham don't complete a league double over Bath City. They still haven't done that since 2005-06, but they've got 4 points over their near neighbours. Bath City pick up 2 points in 2 games. They start the year with a draw. Do you think Jerry Gill will be satisfied with that, Bob?
I think he will. I think he might be marginally disappointed that particularly in the last 15 minutes when Scott Wilson came on, that they didn't ram home their advantage, because they got better and better, and they just a little bit of luck. I mean, that Hayfield shot that ended up hitting the inside of the post and somehow going out for a corner. And then the other effort that was drilled basically towards goal from fairly close, hit somebody and just spooned over the bar. So City got better and better, and it's rather the other way round where they suddenly were hanging on for death at the end. It was more that Chippenham were.
Thank you very much for accompanying me, Bob. First time since Taunton.
For my first time away for just over 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, don't make it so long next time. I always thoroughly enjoy your company.
Okay, thank you.
It's a great pleasure to have your views alongside mine here in this very congested area, Harden Hewish Park, as people are now filing away this attendance of 1,558, who I'm sure were captivated throughout, but they just didn't have the goals in front of them today. So, for the first time in just over 120 years, Chippenham versus Bath City draws out a goalless draw here in the A4 derby. The rivals appear friends for now. They'll be now left to concentrate on the second half of their campaigns at opposite ends of the table. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon from Bob Chester and from myself. We'll be back on air on Saturday with a visit of Eastbourne Borough. We'll be on from 2:45 p.m. Chris Chappell will be taking you through that with Alex Lane Kieltica. So hope you all had a very happy new year, and we'll see you in 6 days' time. Good night.